And this one here, I like as it's happening, I'm like, okay, it's happening. This is it. This is how it's going. And it just everything just
She's
started
locked
flowing
in.
together. Yeah, I got
She's
locked in.
Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam,
And I'm Jordan.
and we're here to talk about last week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge and all the things that go along with it. But first, we're going to kick it off with segment number 1.
With our recap. So the challenge prior to this was our Christmas tree, Christmas theme giveaway, and we had to do the classic red truck carrying a Christmas tree done in alcohol markers and charcoal. And Adam took that one home with 67% of the votes. I got 33%. And yeah, we're going to be building the frame for our giveaway. Our giveaway we rolled earlier today. That was going to go to Brent Sims.
Yeah, so Brent, you guys, give us a little bit. We'll get that frame built. Because I'm going to go out and, Jordan and I, we're going to go out to the wood shop and we're going to build the frame. So it'll be a one-off drawing.
Yes.
With a one-off frame. Not really one-off. I mean, we can make them pretty repeatable, which we will. Because, like we had discussed before, we're not going to frame every single one of our theme giveaways. Just because some of them could use it, some of them don't.
Some of them are just special, like how Christmas time is.
Yeah. And, it gives Jordan an opportunity to learn how to do something new, something that she's been interested in wanting to learn how to do. So it's kind of a win-win. That's the way I see it. It's a win-win. But with that being said, if there is ever a drawing that we do and you guys happen to really like it, you can always request a framed print for a low cost.
Yes.
And we will be more than happy to do the frame ourselves. Helps drive the cost down a little bit, makes it a little more reasonable. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed last week's challenge. I know Jordan did as well. So, it was just fun, memorable. The winner, the drawing that won was mine, so that will be Parlor number 13's Christmas card for next year, so be looking out for that. Maybe we'll try to do like a mailing list.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Set up a website and have a mailing list and maybe do incorporate newsletters and things like that, but also be able to incorporate a way that we can be able to send out Christmas cards to everybody. So that would be cool. So maybe something to look forward to in the future. Other than that, I think we can move on to this week's challenge.
Yeah, so this week's challenge is we are doing alcohol markers again with Impressionism and a cool color palette and a landscape for our subject matter.
Yeah, you want to tell them why we decided to do alcohol markers again?
Right, so whenever we did the Christmas theme, the alcohol markers was with the mixed media for that, and we combined it with charcoal. And since that fell under the mixed media category, we thought it best that, we rolled the alcohol markers. That is our main media for this challenge. And then after this challenge, it'll go back into the 3-week rotation.
Yeah. So alcohol markers again it was.
Yeah. How'd you feel about it?
It was alcohol markers, which I absolutely love. It was Impressionism, which I'm not too much of a fan of. But I think, overall, you asked me how I felt about it. I like it.
Good.
I like it.
I'm glad that you liked the Impressionism challenge.
Well, I mean, I liked what I drew.
That's good.
I didn't say I liked the Impressionism challenge.
Right.
Yeah, let's be very clear and understand here. Because I'm going to guess that you liked what you did.
I love what I did because I feel like it is the first time I, enjoyed working with the alcohol markers. And I love the Impressionism. And so whenever we got Impressionism on the roll, I was extremely happy about it. I was so stoked about it. And I thought that it was very interesting that we got something that I love and I dislike, and we got something that Adam loves and he dislikes.
Yeah, so it was very wild.
Yeah, it was neat. And it was really neat to watch it unravel,
Yeah, because I was really glad that you really loved doing this alcohol challenge.
Yeah. Right. I didn't love it until
you loved it.
Right, until I loved it, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it wild the way that works? You dread it so bad going into it.
Oh, yeah, I struggled.
And then it's like you finally hit a stride, and it's like, man, I actually love this.
Yeah. I think it's the style.
I love the style. I bet it changed your whole outlook on alcohol markers.
No, I still hate alcohol markers. Hate alcohol markers.
That's a strong word.
It is a strong word because my hate is strong for them. I don't like them. I'm glad that you love them.
I do. Now, see, I don't hate Impressionism.
I'm glad that you don't hate Impressionism. I love Impressionism.
I dislike it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
dislike doing it.
Dislike doing it, yes. I don't dislike the overall style because I think there's some beautiful paintings out there done in
Yeah.
Impressionism.
Did you do any research?
Oh, boy, did I. I'm going to blow your freaking mind.
Let's hear it.
You're going to have to get your fact check out.
All right.
So, anyway, research. Impressionism actually derives from Japan, from the Edo period, I believe is how that's pronounced. And the most significant painting that they really refer to it is the Great Wave, done by, I believe it's Hokusai? Hokusai, I think is how you pronounce his name. Anyway, do you know how that painting is done?
I don't.
So it is done using like wood stamps, and they carve out each layer, and each layer is a different part of that painting. And they'll dip it in color and transfer it to paper. And they do that over and over, and they build layers, okay? So it's not really painted. It's more like stamped.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But they were really the first to kind of really start playing around with color. Now you fast forward to, we'll say, Impressionism really took off in the late 1800s. You know, Claude Monet, he was born in, I believe, 1840. And he is actually known for the Impressionist style. Like, it's named after one of his paintings from an art critic.
Oh, that's cool.
Him and a group of people had their paintings set up, and this critic come in, and he's like, nope, I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like it. It looks unfinished. Because at that time, you have to keep in mind, at that time, you know, we're talking the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the Industrial Movement. So up to that time, people were painting gods, goddesses. They were painting royalty, you know, and these were direct depictions of these people. So they had to be perfect, all right? And that was our form of photography, if you really think about it, to that point, okay? Now, when photography come about in and around the Industrial Revolution movement, it took over what artists were doing. However, with that being said, there was one thing that artists could do that photography couldn't do. What was that?
Give it character.
Yeah, give it character. Color.
That was cool that we said it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Color. So anyway, to kind of jump back to Claude Monet, him and this group of artists, they were trying to understand that, okay, they were kind of, we'll call them the rebels of the group, okay, because you're stepping outside of what everybody knows painting to be at this point. You know, everybody says it's got to be perfect. It's got to be a direct replication. And they were like, no, it doesn't. One, it can be in color, which, I mean, they were painting in color up to this point anyway, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a god. It doesn't have to be a goddess. It does not have to be royalty. It can be everyday people.
It can be fleeting moments.
Fleeting moments.
Fleeting moments.
Landscapes.
Exactly. What Impressionism is really known for is capturing fleeting moments with large brushstrokes. Short brushstrokes. But noticeable brushstrokes.
Yes. Okay. Also, did you know Claude Monet had a garden built with many Japanese features?
No, that's cool.
Yes. The lily painting, there are over 250 replications of that painting.
That's cool.
Or versions. Yeah. Not replications, over 250 versions of that he painted.
I see what you're saying. That's cool.
And he actually would have gardeners come in and change it up. So he was painting the same thing.
Same thing, but different.
But different.
Yeah. Same, but different.
Same, but different.
But still same.
So, you know, what did I gather from the research I did? You know, first thing I should say is I wanted to do the research to see if I could have a better appreciation for what Impressionism is.
That's fair.
I feel like if I have a better appreciation for what Impressionism is, then maybe it won't be so bad for me to do it. I will say I do feel like I got a better understanding of what Impressionism is. I have most certainly much more appreciation for it because these guys were really rebels of their time. And they, you know, like I said, they just were like, okay, you all can do this, but this is what we're going to do. Like it or not, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to figure out how we can beat the camera. You know, that's the great thing about this is there's nothing that says that we have to paint all these, you know, specific people.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting style. I have a better appreciation for it. Can't say that I still like doing it. But with that being said, we have yet to do Impressionism
with paint.
With paint.
What it's made for.
Yes.
You know,
and I think we will get to our challenges with the medium when we get to that part of our podcast, but because it's a difficult style to do. In my opinion, it's a difficult style to do. Did you do any research?
Yes and no, just kind of reread up on what Impressionism is. More so for the parameters. That way I knew I was within the parameters.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
just checking the definition of Impressionism, what makes Impressionism.
So, did I say anything that you didn't know?
Oh yeah, I didn't know any of that, really.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't know we were doing a history lesson on it.
Good, because next week it's your turn for the history lesson.
Awesome. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, get ready.
Right on.
So,
All right,
I think
let's
I would kind of like to do that from now on.
Really?
Yeah, one of us pick it up and we'll do some research. And
Yeah.
if we get it multiple times,
It's
like
just more knowledge on it.
yeah, we
Yeah.
just do a different part of the history
Right.
lesson. Or if you did surrealism last time, I'll do it this next time.
Yeah.
Vice versa. I did impressionism this time, you do it next time.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool just to be able to learn, and it gives my Spotify account a little more variety.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, design phase.
Design phase. You
You
want
wanna
to
go?
jump into yours?
Yeah, I'll jump into mine.
Yeah, what reference did you use?
I had a little help from AI.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I just I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, I've always had this perfect. I like to fly fish, and I've always had this. We can fly fish here in Missouri down at. We got a couple springs that we can go fly fishing at. They are not what you get out west in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado,
Yeah.
Idaho,
Right.
Alaska. They're not.
There are a couple really beautiful places, but man, you're in a different world whenever you're out there.
Well, sure, absolutely. And so I wanted to try to capture what my absolute dream stream to fly fish would look like.
Yeah.
And I think I captured that. I think I captured, the mountains in the background, the evergreens down each side, and you've got this stream that runs down, and you can tell that it's running in between the mountains, and you got the moving water. Yes, there is a guy there. There is a guy fly fishing, but to me, he's secondary to the actual landscape.
I told you I've been there before.
Yeah,
I've been to your drawing before, man.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I wanted to capture that, and I felt like that was my whole design. I wanted the mountains in the background. I wanted the evergreens. I wanted the stream. But I wanted I wanted to try to make that the focal point and not the fish and the guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I achieved that. I sure did try, but that was my, that was my design. I knew everything that I wanted. It was just trying to pull it off. What about your design phase?
So I knew off the rip that I wanted to do something with water. And, I thought back to our first Impressionism challenge, the ocean that I put in there and the waves crashing up onto the ship. I loved it so much. And so I really wanted to do something with water. And I had this idea in my head that I pulled some inspiration from. Have you ever been to Yellowstone Canyon?
No.
So that was the first time that I ever really, really saw a waterfall, was hiked down there to the top of Yellowstone Canyon. And I just remember looking down and being so amazed at God's creation, I
Right.
love waterfalls. I think they're so cool. So I just kind of pulled my own inspiration just from memory, and just knew that I wanted to do like a canyon and have everything drawn into the waterfall,
Right.
with beauty around it. So that's what I did, and I just sketched it out. Got, the waterfall centered. I was going to do a bridge over the waterfall as well, but I after, a few attempts, I decided to scratch the bridge and just put all the focus on the beauty of the landscape itself. And I love it. I love it. I think it is the first alcohol marker drawing that I've done that I've truly been like, dude, that's cool.
I like it. Yeah. There's many things that I love about it, and
We can get into all that later.
Yeah, we'll get into all
Yeah.
that later. But your design, so really, your design was just going back to memory, huh?
Yeah, just back to memory. Just sketched it out. I took a few time-lapse videos as well of all my sketches, and yeah, it was so neat. And I really love how it turned out. And at first, it was not what it is now. And then I just started going over with color and color and color. And yeah, just decided to like lay down rocks because the rocks are really neat and it kind of gives it a little like touch of just something extra with, my moss and the other colors on the rocks. It kind of tones it down a little bit and kind of puts you in a little bit of reality. You know what I mean? But still being able to take you away to wherever this is,
I think it's cool that you're able to pull that from memory or,
Yeah.
different things, whether it's memory, pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
Fortunately, like I said on mine, I haven't been to this place yet. I know it exists and I'd love to go to it someday. It's, oh, okay.
There's a canyon.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
So whenever you go down, you are right here on top of that waterfall and you can just look down.
Look down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
See that right there?
Yep.
Yeah, it is truly beautiful. So you see where I pulled my inspiration from.
Right.
With the canyon, drawing everything down. The Yellowstone Canyon waterfall is definitely way more beautiful than my piece.
And my piece may be downstream here somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just so neat.
But, that's why I had to use AI for a little bit of help because, I have yet to be there.
Right.
And if I was there, I'd have 1,000 pictures of it.
Oh yeah, you gotta go there. It's so cool.
Yeah. So anything else about your design phase?
No, not really. That's about it.
Title?
My title is Nighttime Oasis. Yeah.
I like it.
Because, man, I want to go there. I want to go there and I want to sit there and I just want to listen to that waterfall and look up at all those beautiful stars. And yeah, I love it.
You got an artist statement to go along with that?
No.
No?
No. I just wanted to capture the movement of the water and, emphasize on Impressionism and how difficult it is to do Impressionism with alcohol markers. But you have to imitate those strokes within your piece, And I really feel that I pulled that off with my cliffs, my water, my sky. The rocks were a little difficult because there's less color in them, so they're not as strokey, but they're still there, and they're kind of a little bit of character that, like I mentioned before, brings you back to reality.
Right.
And this is a real place.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounded like a pretty good artist statement to me.
Right on.
So, the fact that you didn't have one, but yet you have one, so...
Thank you. What about you?
The title of mine is called Fisherman's Tranquility, I think.
Yeah, that's what you called it. A Fisherman's Tranquility.
Artist statement. Like I said, I just wanted to capture a place that I have in my mind of a place that I've always wanted to go. I know it exists. I'm not sure where this place is at. Maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to find it, but I wanted to capture that overall feeling. It's cool to go to some of these places here in Missouri and be able to fish and catch the fish, much like this is happening here in this drawing. So I was able to capture that feeling for sure, but I just wanted that extra feeling of that just jaw-dropping landscape. That's what I really, really wanted to try to accomplish, was just to get that overall feeling of this is a place that exists and you could go there and you can fish that stream. And, I felt like I accomplished it. The Impressionism side, I'm 50-50 on it.
I think it's Impressionism with illustrative,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So I tried very hard, but, at the end of the day, you know what? I like it.
Yeah.
And I had fun doing it. And I think with that, we should probably jump into what it was that you liked about your piece.
Yeah. So, man, I've got a lot of likes about it. And, this piece was, was it challenging? I sent Adam, we like to send each other some progress photos throughout the week.
Oh, and boy, did I get some.
Yeah. One of the progress photos, all of them same sketch. All of my progress, well, my first progress photo.
I don't think those were the same sketch because the first progress photo I got says this sucks on it.
We should show that. Here it is.
There it is.
There it is. That is my first progress.
Oh boy.
And I was trying so hard to get the style down because that's all I care about is the style. I feel that, especially with something as Impressionism, as classic as it is, as beautiful as it is, I want to achieve that style with the medium we are using. And as you know, I dislike alcohol markers. So it was so complicated for me to kind of just break that wall and find out how to do realism with the alcohol markers. And you look at this and you think, oh, that looks pretty easy, right? No, it's not. So yeah, my first progress photo was the sketch, and a terrible rendition of a waterfall with a bunch of small little blue and purple and darker blue and different shades of blue strokes through it. And then I was like, this isn't working out, man. This is not working. So then I wrote, this sucks on it. And I sent it to Adam and was like, yeah, that's my progress. My second progress photo, what did that? Oh, yeah. My second progress photo.
I don't think I got the second one.
You did?
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did. So my second one, I was starting to get the water feel down a little bit, but the colors I was using, it looked like Taco Bell.
That's right.
It looked like 90s Taco Bell. That turquoisey blue or the teal blue with the purple and the swoosh through it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I worked at Taco Bell whenever it had that style, and I was like, this is not it. This isn't it either. This sucks too. But then I took what I was able to accomplish on that one, and I just put my knowledge that I gained from those two terrible sketches and put them all into this one. And this one here, I, like, as it's happening, I'm like, okay, it's happening. This is it. This is how it's going. And it just, everything just started flowing together. Yeah, I got locked in. I got locked in. And where it started was with my water, the water coming out. So, like, at first, I had the base layer of colors down. And I was thinking, because at first I was kind of going to go the same color route that you were going, And the water was very, like, quiet looking, it was very, like, cloud blue in the color. And I was like, I want to make this pop. I want it to look just captivating. So then I started adding more and more color, more shades of blue. And then that way, so it didn't look monochrome, I threw in purple and more white highlights. With the rocks, they're also shaded with blue, but a lot of it is gray forward, just supporting our cool color palette here with the green moss, like I mentioned before, to bring you into reality here. This is a real place. And I just love how it all started becoming cohesive. I love how bright it is. Even with, you look at there's not a lot of white space on this paper, but the colors just pop and the white highlights just, they glow. It's glowing. And I love that. And then the sky, my gosh, we could have done cosmic vibes and this would have made it with cosmic vibes, It is.
I was thinking that earlier.
Angelical, And one of my favorite Impressionism paintings, probably everybody's favorite, is Starry Night. I like to take that Vincent van Gogh style and incorporate that. And I wanted to put that in with the sky. So I have my sky, like the galaxy kind of swooshing over to the moon, circling the moon, lots of stars, a lot of different chisel tip marker strokes through the sky. And also everything, it has a direction on here to showcase the movement. Throughout my sky, all of my strokes through here all are put on there in an intentional direction. So it all flows this way or flows that way. The waterfall, obviously everything is flowing down. The rocks to the sides of the waterfall, all of those are flowing down. Now, my cliffs, obviously I wanted those to flow up in a different direction. Everything is showing movement. Everything is so intentional. And then the water that is coming from the waterfall, everything is horizontal, to show, just to show the movement.
Right.
And that's what Impressionism is all about. It's showing movement within your art, and it just worked in it. I love it. I love everything about this. There's not one dislike that I have. I also love that at the bottom of my waterfall, somehow I was able to pull off that mist without it being like, that is all.
That is all.
Podcast ended. I'm just kidding.
When I first seen it, my first impression was not of Yellowstone.
Right, and it's not Yellowstone colors.
No. I understand that. But my first impression was, we'll go back a couple weeks ago when we did Link.
Mm-hmm.
I am telling you, this is in that video game somewhere.
Ocarina of Time?
I don't know if it might be not the latest one, but the one before. But I know I have been on this waterfall in this game somewhere. There's only, 100 different Zeldas you could go through to find it. But, right up there was a pretty good representation, even though it's 3. Mm-hmm. But I know there's one that's just one, has that canal feel to it.
Yeah. And it has the vibrancy, that the newer Zelda games do have.
Oh, yeah. And so that was my first impression I got from it. Absolutely loved it. Fell in love with yours. What are we, we're going to stop and switch over for a second. What are we at right now?
Jordan's losing this one. For sure.
I don't think Jordan's going to lose this one.
Jordan's losing this one. That's all right.
No, Jordan's not going to lose. I will say this is tight. It is going to be a nail biter, guys. I mean, right now, I have 54%. Jordan has 46%. While ago, it was
50-50.
50-50. And then Jordan was ahead by 1 vote. I think it was like a 53-40 something. So, I mean, it's flip-flopping. So, like we've said, don't put a lot of stake into it because it can change.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why, this is going to sound sad, but it's not meant to be sad. I go into each challenge now on each vote with no hope. None. Zero. Yeah,
there's been a few that really make you take on that open mind and the open...
Right.
You just got to have an open mind about it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. What are the likes about yours?
Well, I wasn't quite done with yours.
Oh, okay.
So pull yours back up because I had a couple questions about it.
Yeah. Questions.
I want to know how you got individual strokes into your drawing.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Chisel tip.
Okay. What was your layering process? Because I will tell you why later. I want to know what your layering process was because you had to start out with something base and build up upon that.
So if you look at my water coming from the waterfall, you'll see the cloud blue in there. Base is all cloud blue.
So you laid down cloud blue from front to back, side to side.
Yeah, no, it's not like I colored it all in. I still continued the horizontal strokes all the way across.
Gotcha.
For example, like all this right here, that's negative space.
Right.
That's not all white highlight. And then you'll see, I used fine tip on some of it on the top, but beneath that is all chisel tip, just pulling it over.
Okay.
Pulling it over. Oh, Lord. So, and then here around the canyon, that really, really light blue, it's all that going up. Coloring it in, all just using the chisel tip.
Gotcha. You just chisel tipped everything. Just boom, boom, boom. Small strokes of chisel tip.
I show you.
Do you feel like you pulled off your waterfall?
I do.
And the only reason I say that is because I have issues in mine. And it looks very similar to yours.
That's how I did it.
Okay.
See all the individual bits?
Right.
Individual bits.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then just going over.
She's showing me a time lapse, guys.
The light to the dark. And then also like adding definition where definition was needed. You know how I thought like this would drop down on the cliff. So just more darker shading through there.
Right.
Yeah. And then going dark on top of that. And then adding in just accents of purple. That way it's not monochrome.
Right. Right. Do you feel like when you were doing your rocks, okay, so you did yours a lot like mine, you lightly sketched everything in.
Oh, yeah. I had my ballpark of where everything was going to go.
Yeah.
And I did the measurements on the paper because I wanted the waterfall to be front and center.
Right.
So it's completely front and center. And then this is the base of the water. And so you can see the direction where I was heading where our colors were just very similar.
Well, and I think that's a big problem that I had.
Yeah.
And I think, when we get to the medium challenges, that's probably going to really become one of our very similar issues that we both had with working with the alcohol markers in this particular style.
How do you mean?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
Now, when you were putting in your white highlights, how did you decide where and what was going to get white highlights?
Well, just from, my moon up here, so around here on the cliff, those would get a little pizzazz.
Okay.
And then the water. Just a little bit around the rocks, not too much. And then
so you don't really have many white highlights down here in the water.
No.
Okay. Other than what's up against the rocks.
Yeah, right through there on the rocks.
Okay.
Yep.
The rest of it's just negative space.
Right, negative space and then just a little right through there.
Gotcha. You have some patience, lady.
Man, I'll tell you what, it took some, for sure.
I don't have those kind of patience.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably do, but I'd have to dig deep to find it.
Right.
Because I'm just like, dude, I want it done, kind of over it, ready to be done.
Well, it didn't take me that long.
Really?
Yeah. It took me probably about 8 hours, 8 to 10. Yeah.
That's kind of a long time.
Well, for me, that's really not that long because I usually spend a good, like, what, like 16 to 18 hours on whatever it is we're
That's
doing.
crazy because I'm like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, I got to be done.
Yeah.
I'm,
Well, not all at once, you know? Well, a lot of this piece, a lot of it was all at once.
yeah, now your rocks.
Mhm.
Did you find those to be difficult?
No, I thought that those were the easiest part.
You thought they were the easiest part,
Mhm.
even to pull off? Because I kind of feel, and I'm just being honest,
Mm,
because the same thing is in mine.
mhm.
I don't get impressionism in your rocks as much as I do everything else. It's the one spot that I feel like,
Well, there's not a lot of color within them, and then that's why I took the blue and I just chisel the light blue over.
right,
And then since it's freaking frockin' alcohol markers, it
it
just
bleeds.
unfortunately blended into each other.
Right.
Yeah. That's another big reason why I put the moss on top to separate, you know, and just show the impressionism through them.
Yeah. Well,
Also, at the same time, none of them have the fine line detail, which is excluded from impressionism.
right.
Yeah.
Right. It like I was gonna say, overall, I love it. I think it's awesome. I know I've been to this place in Zelda before.
Yeah.
And that's what I freaking love the most about it. It may not be the area that you were thinking, but that's where my mind goes
Right.
immediately.
And that's what art is. You know, where does it take you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you go?
Yeah. So I love it. I think it's amazing. I love the fact that it can be so dark yet so vibrant.
And what really pushed that was me punching in black on this thing.
I really think so
Mhm.
as well.
Because at first it did kind of have that monochrome feel, even with my purple and stuff in there and a little bit of the white highlights. And I was just like, let's do it, you
Yeah.
know? And it made the sky look more like a sky. It added a lot of nice shadows on the cliffs.
Right.
And I wanted to do it on the rocks, but I was like, no, you're done.
Yep.
You're done. Stop right there.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it so much.
Let's get into your likes.
My likes on my drawing. Well, I happen to love everything about it. Again, of course, it is an alcohol marker challenge, and I kind of love working with alcohol markers. So I also love the fact that I got a very early start on it.
Yeah.
I did not have, I wasn't stressed out about it.
And that's so good. That's so good.
There were parts of it that were stressful. I think that's different than being stressed out about it. Man, I don't know. I started with the sky because I was unsure how to pull off impressionism with
Mhm.
alcohol markers because if there's one thing I knew, they bleed.
Right.
And it's like, how do you lay down individual strokes side by side of each other and that they don't bleed to each other and become, instead of, 2 marks, 1 mark. And that was what I struggled with.
Yeah.
And I don't think I personally don't feel like I totally captured the impressionism. Just, that's my own personal opinion. The trees is so I started with the sky. I moved down to the mountains. Mountains for me have always been difficult. You had mentioned that you feel like I always nail skies. I feel like my skies always, man, I feel like I always struggle with them. And then Jordan's like, man, you freaking nail skies. And then, I moved in there to the mountains and I was okay with the mountains, and I felt like the more I messed with them, the better they got, but I still felt like I wasn't getting those individual striations like I was wanting. So I kind of went into a different approach. I went into almost trying to make it more blurry than anything. And I didn't know if that was the right move to make. The grass, I felt like the grass was a little bit better because I was able to really just, pick up a color. And I like that color, went to a different color. I like that color. And I was able, because I was separating colors, that's when I really hit the stride on what I felt like impressionism was and how to pull it off.
Right.
The rocks, I was kind of like you. I played a little bit more with it. And I think you see that more down the left side than you do the right side because
Yeah, I agree.
I did the right side first. And I realized what I did on the right side I didn't like, and I tried to change it up on the left side. And the closer they got to you, the easier it was to pull off because they were becoming larger and larger and larger. So it gave you more room to try to create those individual striations. Then I got to the fish. I had no choice but to put it in there in a realistic form because it's such a small area.
Right.
I hated doing it that way. And I think that's what overall gives mine that highly illustrative factor too. The guy fishing, I feel like I just played around with him. I didn't want to put him in brown, but man,
that's a good question. Do you feel like you stuck to parameters?
I played a lot with brown.
Is brown in the cool color palette?
Not necessarily in most cases.
At the same time, what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, I could have put him in blue.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we'd be sitting here looking at a Smurf.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have still skin toned his skin, but I really feel like if I would have done it in blue, it would have washed out.
Right.
No pun intended.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I opted to play with the brown. Don't know if that was the right decision or not, and we'll see. I knew I wanted moss under my water on rocks, even though you can't tell that there's individual rocks under the stream. I knew I wanted moss there because I've never been in a stream where there's not moss on top of rocks under the water. And then as it gets closer and closer to you, I tried to pull off your running water down at the bottom where the water's running over the rocks. Don't know if I had got it at all, but to me, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. I think we approach the water the same way for the most part. I think your striations or, your brush strokes, if you will, are smaller than mine. I was very scared to put in the dark blues.
I think your dark blues is what makes it.
But, overall, I love everything about it. I mean, it's, to me, fantastic. And I think at the end of the day, that has to be taken into consideration as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you do something and we've been down that road where you do something and we're unhappy with it.
Yeah.
But when you do something and you're happy with it, I think that goes a long way.
Right. Right.
But
I agree.
I just, like I said in the beginning, I just wanted to capture a place that I know exists that I haven't been there yet. I think I did it.
Yeah, I think you did it too. I think it looks really good.
I did decide to put the grass on the rocks at the bottom. Just because I'll be honest with you, I was tired of trying to figure out how to make gray striations.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
It's very hard. So
yeah, our rocks look very similar.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Got any questions for me?
I think you actually answered all my questions while you were speaking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly am glad that you broke parameter a bit and went with that brown color on the mountain back there. I think it adds a sense of realism to this.
Well,
and I like that.
I'll be honest with you. When I started doing the research for Impressionism, that was the one thing I noticed that they seem to state a lot was it's not that it's not realistic. It's just done in a different way. It's showing realism in a different way. So, that part where I broke away from it was within the color palette.
Yeah.
And exactly. And I don't know was that the right thing to do? Was it not the right thing to do?
Right. Well, a big concern with yours was, remember our last cool color, one of our cool color palette challenges, big question that you had was, does it meet parameters with mine? Because I used a couple of realistic skin tones on the hand.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you just have to make smart artist decisions, Yeah. Highlight those with the cool color palette,
And I was really had that in the back of my mind. Is brown a cool color palette color? No, it's not. But sometimes you just have to, like you said, you have to break away from it. Could I put him in blue clothes? I absolutely could have, but I think it would have washed him out. Could I made this mountain back here the same color pattern as I was doing in the background with the more cool colors? I could have, but what is it going to stand out?
Right.
I feel like it's just going to, I was afraid it would get muddy. I felt like there had to be that separation. I felt like if it was going to be the same color palette, the exact same color palette, you would not be able to tell where one begins and the next one ends.
Do you have any overcoming challenges this week that
for the
happened
medium challenges?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was trying to understand how to do small brush strokes with alcohol markers and not get them to bleed together.
It was so complicated, wasn't it? It was so complicated. And it can definitely be done. It can definitely be done, but it is definitely trial and tribulation while you're trying to do it.
Absolutely.
I would like to purchase alcohol markers with a brush tip. I think that would make all the difference. I've looked online. That's what everybody recommends, and I'm so mad at ourselves for not buying those prior to the fine tip and the chisel tip.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you something else I think makes a huge difference, and it's something that we're limited by because the more you buy, the more expensive it becomes. And I don't know if you ran into this, but it was like we have a ton of grays, and they go from a light, very, very light gray
to holy crap, that's dark.
to holy crap, that's dark. But then you go to blue, and it's like you got 4 light blue colors.
And then super, super dark blue colors.
Super, super dark blue colors or super, super bright blue colors.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really struggled with in mine because I was like, oh my gosh, like there's no in between.
Exactly.
There's no in between. I have nothing to make a gradients here.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. There's no way to go from 0 to 100.
Right, with meeting 50 in the middle.
Correct.
There's no way to do it. So that's why, for mine, I was just layering and layering and layering. What really helped was putting that light color down first and then knowing what darker colors I wanted on top and then just like accenting with something in between that was somewhat in between but also still really dark. So I had to commit to the darkness of it all. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and if you go back to mine, I think that's where I feel like I lost it out here. And I don't feel like I have a lot of color back here in the stream because I was so scared. I didn't have those gradients. And I think that's what made doing the rocks difficult too.
I think that's fine and actually works well with your drawing though, because your focus isn't really on the mountain. It's not on the trees. It's not on that mountain off to the left. Your focus is drawn into where the movement is on this thing.
Right.
So it's drawn into where the fisherman is standing and where the fish is jumping out of the water.
Right.
This piece here, from here down, is like really what makes it Impressionism.
Right.
You know, and I love that is your focal point.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I struggled with using my jelly roll just because I got hung up on your first Impressionism drawing. How well you were able to take that jelly roll and captivate that water movement.
Man. And
I
that
mean,
wasn't
you
even
freaking nailed it.
Dude, my gosh, man, I got to get that thing printed out and put it up on the wall because it was so good. It was so good. Can we just show it? Can we just show it one more time?
I'll put it up here to the right. But the way you were able to captivate that, you know, and I got so hung up on that, and it really frustrated me because I don't think I ever captured the water movement in this challenge that you did in that challenge.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a lot easier to do with ink pen. You know, way easier to do with ink pen because I could just like shimmy where like all of the shadows would be for the water.
Right.
So like through here, that's all negative space. There are a couple white highlights. The white highlights are in the splashes.
Right.
But everything else, that's all negative space. That's all just controlling where that pen is and putting the shadows where the shadows would be and causing the chaos in the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, like I said, I got so hung up on that I think I got lost in my understanding of how you made the water move in comparison to how I made the water move.
And I think I tried to replicate what I did here.
Oh, I can most certainly tell you that's what I was trying to do, and I don't think
it didn't work. It can't. Yeah, I couldn't get it to work with the alcohol markers.
Okay,
and I was trying to use the fine point.
So that makes me feel a little bit better about mine.
And then that's why on mine, that thing is all chisel tip, you know, besides a couple of the smaller striations in the water, all chisel tip.
Yeah. Like I said, I went back and forth to your first Impressionism drawing, and I just don't know that I just don't feel like I got it. But now that we're sitting here talking about it and you don't feel like you got it the same way.
And that's how like some of mine looked. But I just wanted it to look more like the brushstrokes, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was difficult. Alcohol markers and Impressionism are difficult. And I'm kind of like Jordan. I would really love to get the brush tip to see if that makes a difference.
I think it would make all the difference.
I am hesitant about saying that it would make all the difference in the world because what I know about alcohol markers is if I lay a brushstroke here and I lay another brushstroke right here, they're going to become one brushstroke.
Maybe.
They're going to bleed together.
Maybe.
Now, you had said something when we were talking on the phone that makes total sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
limited to chisel or fine line.
Right.
You have the opportunity to go and find and fan it out.
Fan it out. So you have that opportunity with the brush tip.
Yeah.
That we don't have with these. Also, having more variation of color, I think, would be completely helpful.
And we got how many? 70 of them?
Yeah, there's a bunch in there. I don't know how many's in there, but there's a bunch.
I know my cloud blue is all dried up. I gotta get some more.
My colorless blender is dead. Like dead. Yeah, I was dipping it in the old alcohol. trying to make that work. And I played around with different techniques of taking a brush and alcohol and brushing over the top of it. Like I told you, I thought about doing that with my fish, but
Yeah.
man, I was so afraid to do that. To blur it. I wanted to blur it out, but I was honestly just very, very afraid that if I did that, I was going to ruin the whole thing.
And I'm glad that you didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't use the blender on mine at all. Nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, because it dried up on me, so I don't know that. I don't think it dried up on me. I think I just used it all in the past few challenges.
Yeah.
There just wasn't anything left for this one. So, I think alcohol markers have a place, but they're not for Impressionism. That's my overall opinion. It can be done, but I think they have a much better place.
Right.
Whether that's in realism.
I think it's like in like the new school world,
New school, dude. Could you imagine a new school done in alcohol marker?
It would be cool. It'd be so much easier.
Collaboration,
we really didn't collaborate a whole lot. I just told you about how much I was struggling and sent you pictures of this sucks.
Yeah, and I got to the point where I was okay. How can I call Jordan and be like, okay, what kind of pep talk can I give Jordan? And I'm like, okay,
dude, the motivation was there. I just was like, I can't figure out how to do it.
Really? Because it sure as the heck didn't sound like it was there on the phone.
It was there. It was there, and I wanted to conquer this, man.
And I was like, man, she's not liking this.
I love Impressionism. I wanted to do Impressionism.
Well, you got to do it.
Got to do it. I love it.
Anyway, guys, how about segment number 2?
Yeah, the out with the old and in with the new. So our upcoming challenge is going to be a robot done in a surrealistic style and in charcoal. And this is kind of fun because it is our second charcoal surrealism challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be neat. I'm very curious to see, what route we're both going to be taking. And how are we going to be surrealistic with this one?
Man, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one.
Right.
The first one, I turned a hand into a tattoo machine. The second one, I really wanted to play around with Dolly. I don't know where I'm going to go with this one.
I don't know either. It's going to be interesting.
You know what I need?
What?
I need somebody who likes to get blasted.
Yeah. And just be like, what should I do with the robot?
Yeah, like, here, go
write this down.
Exactly. Go get blasted
Give
and then
me
write it all down.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I don't know. I want to start searching for inspiration somewhere and wherever I see it. Oh, are we 50-50?
We're back to 50-50, man.
See, I told you.
We are back to 50-50.
I told you. This is going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, it is.
This is crazy.
Yo.
I would have never guessed it to be 50-50.
Dude, I knew it. I knew.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. Last time we were 50-50 was...
Alcohol markers are the bane of my existence, okay?
Man.
I pull all this from my head, too, and I put so much, love into it. I'm like, just the alcohol markers drive me nuts.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to get back to our segment. When you're using alcohol markers, are they everywhere on your desk?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. I can't keep them together. They're everywhere. And then every time I pick it up, I'm like, what is that? What is that? And then especially with this challenge, I was, what? Taking it off every single time. Yeah. It's like, man, I can't keep track of anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what is that? Is that cloud blue? My cloud blue is drying up. This is great.
I was thinking about that last night when I was putting everything up. I'm like, this
scattered.
is a horrible freaking mess.
And I'm very, here are my blues. Here are my greens. Here's this lineup. And I like to pull from that lineup. And with this crap, no.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It just covers the desk.
And it stresses me out. I don't like it.
I don't know what the purpose of that is, but...
I think it's just because you're so sporadic on, trying to find, what color you're using for this specific stroke. Because...
Well, and then I'll grab a group of them and put them in my hand. I'm using this and this one and this one and this one.
And I'll have it right here, and I just pop one out, use it, put it back in, pop one out, use it, put it back in. Yeah. I have my collection.
That is so freaking hilarious that we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely the same thing.
And then I'll just start using stuff that's way over here, and I'm just holding on and causing my hand to cramp because I'm tightening my hand with this insane grip around the alcohol markers while I'm just trying to focus on getting this one specific little chisel tip stroke across the thing that I just believe is going to make this whole picture.
Yeah, and then you take one out of your group and you're drawing with it, and you're looking at it, you're picking your picture, you're drawing up, and you're looking at it, and you set this down over here, and you're like, man, looking at it, you set it back down, you're like,
where'd the marker go?
No.
Yeah.
What color was that?
Right. Yeah, that's another thing, man. Is what color was that? There are a bunch of different colors in here that was not supposed to be that color, and I was like,
You know what? There are a bunch of colors in our kit, but there are not enough colors in our kit.
right, exactly. And like the dark blues all look the same, you know? And they're
And the grays, it's like
it's not just like blue number 1, blue number 2, blue number 3. It's Navy Island and freaking, I don't know,
emerald dark green.
emerald dark green. And
then, like we said, you get to the grays, it's like light, 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 medium, 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 and then black, dark.
yeah,
That's it.
right. It is shadow.
Like, is there a difference between this and black? Because I'm not seeing
hardly
it.
one. It just light.
Yeah.
Just-
Anyway,
yeah.
back to our segment.
Yeah, so correct. Yeah, surrealism, robot, charcoal.
I'm going to enjoy working with the charcoal again.
Me too.
I can tell you what I am going to do that I didn't do last time with the hand was I'm not going to draw it in graphite pencil. I'm going to draw
Really?
it in charcoal. Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
what I found is that you can lay down a graphite pencil mark and then you can come over the top of it with charcoal and it's not going to stick.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't stick, does it?
No, it doesn't. So then you're trying to erase your line.
What hardness did you do your outline in on your last one?
Hard?
Hard?
Yeah.
What if you used a black one?
A black line.
Yeah, because the H stands for hard, the B stands for black. So
I don't know if
with how hard that lead is, indenting the paper.
I mean, yeah, you could do that and follow your indention, maybe? Is that what you're referring to?
No. I'm saying no indention. No indention.
I still don't think your charcoal will go over the top of your graphite very well.
Yeah?
I think it's two different things that do not coexist with each other. It's like water and oil.
It's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like watercolor and pastel.
Yeah. I don't think that they jibe together. That was my impression I got with the hand. So this time when I sketch it.
So you better sketch it, huh?
Yeah. It's going to have to be like perfect.
Right.
I mean, or at least near perfect where I can blend it out.
Right.
You know, I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, me too.
I hope you can get in.
It's going to be cool to draw.
Now, here's the one thing I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Since it's not a car, yes.
I hope.
Mm-hmm.
You won't hear me say this very often.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that you get in the win column for a surrealism challenge.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Where are we at on our vote real quick before we check out?
I'm looking. Adam's got it. Got it.
I mean, this thing is like this. It's like boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think we're done. So,
yep.
Thanks for tuning in. Yep. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13's podcast, where we discuss how we went head to head with our art challenge. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor number 13 by J&A, as well as on Instagram and Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube. You can also find us on all of your popular podcasting platforms. Don't forget to
like and comment and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts and tell us who had your favorite artwork for the week if you like, and keep the creativity flowing. Let your inspiration soar, and together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. See you guys at the next challenge and at the next vote, and please, wherever you're at,
be safe.
Be safe. Awesome.